Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome. It is a magical Money Monday here in the studio as I record. We are going to breach the subject of money today, based off of a post in the Facebook group, which is Positive Heads, by the way, if you're not already in there. Love to see your bright, shiny, happy face in there. There's about 5,000-ish P-heads, as I affectionately refer to all of you guys as, mixing it up, sharing, connecting, giving advice, asking questions. And that's actually what today's, kind of spawned today's episode is a question that came in from someone on the Facebook group. And before I dig into today's question and we talk about money, I'm going to, I think my brother and dad right now are back east with my uncle. And I've talked about this subject before, by the way, and you probably heard me talk about how my brother always imitates my uncle who lives in the deep South, North Carolina. And he has a very thick accent and he likes to talk about money. So he always imitates him. If we're talking about money, that's and he happens to be there right now. So this is like divine synchronicity in every way that my brother is there for the first time in 15 years probably. So he's actually with the uncle, probably talking about money. And here I am in California talking about money. And it seems to be in the air. But before I dive in to talking about money, I'm going to read a sort of a review, I guess, feedback from Danielle. You guys know I typically read reviews on iTunes, love getting those iTunes reviews. Now, CastBox, I'm going to actually talk about that. That's part of the question today. Review on there. That's another app that is awesome, and you can actually review and give feedback. So please do so on anywhere that you can review. Certainly appreciate it. It helps us to reach new people. So typically, I read reviews. Today, I'm going to read actually a message that came from Danielle, Danielle Santos on episode 708. She had written in a question and I addressed it. And it's very quick feedback here because she, and that was last week, so you guys can check that out if you haven't already. She said, "Thank you, Brandon, for your episode from last week. It was absolutely amazing. As soon as I accepted that maybe Australia was not for me and it was okay that my visa was refused, my boss went to talk to the immigration lawyer and appealed to the court. So I'm staying here for now. As soon as I relaxed, it happened. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't put words on how grateful I am for meeting you." And, Danielle, thank you for taking the time to give me some feedback, provide some feedback. And that was so quick. Wow. So congrats on that quick manifestation. It's such a wonderful thing when you realize you let something go and that's how you can call it in. If it's meant for you, and if it's not, then it won't work out. But you relax about you set your intention and then let it go. Resisting anything is futile, and we are learning that. We're slow learners sometimes. I know I have been, but I'm getting it. I don't really force much these days. If it flows, if it flows. If it don't, it don't. And I'm just perfectly divine, floating in eternity with nowhere I have to go and nothing I have to do. So why am I going to trip out about any one idea that I think I'm supposed to do or shouldn't be happening when we don't know what's best for us. We can have ideas, but being attached to those, just clinging to them is not the path. Certainly not the easiest path if you want to float like a feather on your way home, as we talked about on that episode. But thank you, Danielle, for taking the time to write in and also to follow up. All right. Today's episode, we are going to take a question, as I mentioned, that was on the Facebook group Positive Heads, that came in by Chad. And Chad said, I want to say thank you for the podcast. It has helped me in many ways. But lately, I have noticed something coming up for me while listening. You are a very business-focused individual. By every definition I can think of, you are already very successful, yet you continue to push for more money. You recently talked about buying a $7,000 painting and still wanting more money from your new travel business. It seems the podcast is now promoting supplements, and I assume that the recent push for Castbox has some sort of financial incentive behind it. I'm happy for your success, but why do you need more? How is it okay to want more? This modern blend of money and spirituality makes me feel uncomfortable. How many spiritual leaders in the past have told us to give up our worldly possessions? Now we are being told that financial success is a sign of spiritual progress. Money is something I really struggle with. I am 30 years old and I've never broken even on my finances for more than just a few months at a time. I have a lot of debt. Just typing the word money on this post makes me feel like I'm using a dirty word. It seems to me that the pursuit of money brings out the worst in people. They become fake, dishonest, greedy, and materialistic. I don't know how we can move forward spiritually within this broken system that turns people into consumers and life into resources. Almost every job I have ever had has made me feel dead inside. I want to start my own business as a way to escape, but being an entrepreneur means being even more involved in what feels like a dirty pursuit. I don't want to play this game. It feels so disgusting to me. I am so resentful for having to be a part of it. I want to experience more freedom in my life, but unfortunately, in our modern world, that means making more money. I can't see any other way around it. Can you make an episode about this or point me to any episodes you've already made? Thanks. What a wonderful topic, and I'm so glad you brought it up. It's definitely a big topic, and it's one of those touchy topics for a lot of people. And I'm just really grateful you brought it up. It gives me the opportunity to talk a little bit more about some of the things that you're seeing me talk about on the show. As far as past episodes, I'm going to throw those out so I don't forget. Episode 491, episode 385, episode 179, episode 261. And by the way, guys, you can go to positivehead.com. On the podcast page there's a search. So you could type in the word money and search. And, so if it's in the description, it'll come up. So just to throw that out there for any of you guys in the future for any topic that you want to search for. But you can go back and listen to those. But I'm going to, as we do on the show, we're circling these issues over and over again, many times from many angles, because that's what it takes to rewire our brains to see things from a new perspective. We are literally creating new neural networks in our brain the more we explore these topics. A couple of things I want to clarify right off the bat to this question. I talked about not buying a $7,000 painting because it was too much money. But I tried to work something out with the guy to support his art, payment-wise, etc. I wanted to, my thought was being a conduit to support visionary art, being a fountain of abundance that can actually support this guy making the most high-vibe, amazing artwork that is definitely multidimensional and coming from I don't know where, beyond the beyond, because it is beautiful and brilliant. And you know how many struggling artists there are out there? A lot. If I can be a conduit, a fountain of abundance, it didn't work out because I didn't have an extra $7,000 to spend on it, $7,777 to be exact. But I just want to point that out. Sort of my thought and what I was talking about there. I think, Chad, you maybe heard it through the lens. You viewed it through the lens of your issue with money, that I bought it and that it, that was somehow, not necessarily a good thing, right? When in actuality, my intention was, I wish I could work it out so that I could, support this art. As far as your suggestion that the Castbox thing was monetary based, actually, that would be a misperception as well. I actually have been talking with a friend over there who works over there, Matthew. And they're doing revolutionary things. They want to support the show. They want to get behind actually a podcast app, a platform that actually wants for the first time support shows that are really, as they seem, the cream of the crop. What rises to the top is there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands out there. And there's a lot of ones that, are some would say higher value, higher content, better production, etc. Than others. They want to find those and get behind them. And they're talking to this show about doing that. I'm honored. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. They have the ability for people to review. They're essentially looking at like starting a label for podcasts. So I'm talked to them a little bit about early stages of that happening, but I got $0 for talking about them the other day. I get $0 for talking about them today. So I hope the talks, the early stage talks we're having go well, and I end up getting aligning with them because I really like their view and where they're at. So, and what will they help do? They'll help to actually for this show to reach a lot of new people as well. So if you think this show reaching new people would be a good thing, then you're in alignment with what they're doing and with me probably bringing it up in my excitement the other day. So moving on, Chad, you said, how is it okay? Why do you want more? I want more I've been talking about this. This is definitely in alignment with the show. This show is all about abundance on all levels. Chad, you are infinite. You are one with the source that created and animates all of everything, the cosmos. You invented money. A part of yourself, I believe, is it's all yours. There's infinite amounts of it. There's infinite amounts. I mean, you look at the abundance on this planet, that's a drop in the bucket compared to the cosmos. Well, you're one with what created all of that. From what? It didn't create that from lack of abundance. It created it from infinite abundance. That's who and what we are. I understand a lot of people have a relationship, an unhealthy relationship with money. It's been used like anything. It's energy. It's neither good nor bad. What you do with it determines whether it's good or bad. Water, it's neither good nor bad. It can be really good in a lot of instances, right? We know that. If I sit here right now and I drink and drink and drink for the next hour, I'll be dead. So, everything is neutral. It's just a form of energy. Yes, I agree. The monetary system needs to be disrupted. I've been saying, if you go back to episode 2, I've been saying it since the beginning. My plan, my aim for many years, I've been saying over a decade, my aim is to become a billionaire, to use money to help get rid of money, or basically transform the energy modality of abundance into something that's more that's not based off this paper currency, rather, right? So to move more into a resource-based economy. If you go and listen to the co-founder of the Venus Project, I did an interview with her a while back. I'm forgetting her name off the top of my head, but if you go to positivehead.com, search Venus Project, you'll find it. It's all about that, going from a monetary-based economy to a resource-based economy. That's my aim. But I can't do that from sitting on the sidelines and saying, I hate money and it's bad. Disrupting it from within is the path, I believe, and in embracing that it's a beautiful part of our journey. It's like being upset at all the atrocities that have happened in the past. Well, I believe everything has been a part of the journey of spirit to wake up and remember itself. You can't know that which you are unless you know that which you are not, right? So the money story is a big piece of that. It will go down in our history books as when we were at that stage in our evolution. And for me, we're in it, just like Chad, you said there, I'm in it. I see no other way. I'm the same way. I agree with you on that point. I see no other way than to use it to help to transform it into something that's more healthier, so that 1% of the world's wealth is controlled by 5 families or whatever ridiculous thing it is. And there's people starving. And, for me, if I have billions of dollars, do you understand what I will do with that? The amount of healing and goodness I'll bring to the world. So for me to not aim for that Makes no sense from where I sit. I'd like to read some quotes here from Wayne Dyer, one of my favorite teachers who passed a few years ago, but he talked about money a fair amount. He definitely had a good amount of it, I believe, a lot of success. He said, money is neither good nor evil, but a form of energy. Like love or fear, it can serve you or bind you, depending on how you manage it. By clarifying your goals and using your gifts, you can make good money doing what you enjoy while serving the highest calling of your soul. Using money wisely and well, you share your material and spiritual wealth with the world. Here's a couple others. When I chased after money, I never had enough. When I got my life on purpose and focused on giving of myself and everything that arrived into my life, then I was prosperous. He also said, successful people make money. It's not that people who make money become successful, but that successful people attract money. They bring success to what they do. One more, he said, abundance is not something we acquire. It is something we tune into. So, you know, that's something to definitely think about here for you, Chad. You can't, he also said, and I don't have this quote written up, pulled up in front of me, but he basically said, you can't be poor enough to help poor people. You can't be sick enough to help sick people. You know, as it sits now, I do live paycheck to paycheck. I'm not filthy, crazy rich, right? I have had some major success in the past, and then you know, that basically imploded. I've told that story in the past, an Inc. 500 fastest growing private company in the U.S. And then, you know, it imploding and getting pushed out by, you know, big corporations. And then, you know, I've told that whole story and business partners that tried to steal from me and on and on. And so at this point, I do well, but I'm not filthy rich. I'm going to be, and I'm going to then spread that to create so many good things in the world, right? That is the aim. And I think if we can all get on that train, I think it is, you know, the highest perspective you can take on it. Nothing is inherently evil. It's what you do with it. Spiritual leaders that said, give up worldly possessions, I think they were meaning don't be attached to worldly possessions, Chad. I think it's not, I didn't do this podcast. The aim of this podcast wasn't monetary based, right? Money will come as a byproduct, and some is starting to trickle in after 3 years plus of funding it out of my pocket to the tune of almost a couple $1,000s a month. Almost 4 people on payroll now. It cost a lot to do this, a lot of energy, a lot of time. This show has definitely cost me, as far as, I won't say I'm negative in my output, because it's such a gift to me just to be able to do it. But monetarily speaking, definitely so. And so, you know, it's one of those things when someone starts asking, what is the deal with advertising? You know, why am I doing it? Well, there's a lot that I want to do, right? And my intention from the beginning is to align with only the highest vibe things that I fully agree with, right? Or that I support. And that's why I first introduced Gaia. I love Gaia, and I love what they're doing. And so I started, backing that, and they started backing the show. And that's the first little advertising revenue that started to trickle in. As far as Purium, most recently, I had Dave Sandoval on the show. You guys can go listen to that episode. If you go to positivehead.com/transformation, you can learn about it, and you can listen to my interview with him. That guy is very, very sincere. You know, he basically told me what he makes. He pays himself $10,000 a month and has a huge, huge company. That is nothing compared to what CEOs pay themselves. I mean, if you want a little perspective, this is the guy who cries talking about healing literally, I've had people say they've seen him many times bust into tears talking about the mission statement of the company to end human suffering with superfoods and restore harmony with nature. He pays himself $10,000 a month. He just forthrightly told me that, right? Who does that? The average CEO, meanwhile, with the more traditional, someone in the thread that Chad was talking about was, there was also talk about it being a network marketing based company, which I don't claim to be the smartest person in business. The company that I did create that had a lot of success, we were in the Inc. 569th fastest growing private company in the U.S. in 2015, and which achieved what 1 in 10,000 entrepreneurs have done, getting to over 10 million plus in revenue. So I don't claim to be the smartest, but I think I've achieved more than most. If what 1 in 10,000 entrepreneurs achieved, and I will say for me, looking at network marketing, it makes the most sense of any model I've ever seen. I love it because it gives the money to the people, not to the CEOs. So this hierarchy, this old school system where the average CEO S&P 500 company last year, $13.9 million, 360 times more they made than the average worker. 4,987 times more the CEO of Mattel made last year than its median employee, almost 5,000. 791 times more average in the retail industry. So average CEO is making 13.9 million. He's got Purium is a pretty big company at this point. He's paying himself $10,000 a month. Okay. And he cries about healing people. So you tell me what's in alignment. I don't know. I don't claim there's people out there listening who maybe know more about business than me. But as I stated, I've done some things that are kind of cool, right? I have some knowledge. It's a brilliant model done right. It's ingenious if done right. All the money goes to the people, not the executives at the top. And actually, Robin Tala did a Facebook Live in the group yesterday that I would encourage you guys to check out, where he talked about how it's like a toroidal field. And if you go back and listen to my episode with Nassim Haramein, he talks about toruses and toroidal fields, how it's a closed loop system that feeds everyone, and it's a never ending energy supply. And that's exactly what that model does. Yes. Has it been bastardized in the past? Has it been used to schlep like really bad products and crappy stuff? Yeah, absolutely. And people promising the world when, you're going to be a bazillionaire overnight, and it's not even close to that simple. But like anything, if I drink too much water, it's bad. This model done with the high vibe, good intentions is ingenious based off of my business knowledge. And I do have some. So, that's what I'll say about that. For me, I'm going to continue to promote things that I believe in, that I think would be good to get listeners to partake in. Gaia, I think Purium is wonderful. I think, high vibe organic superfoods dehydrated at 60 degrees Fahrenheit straight to your door makes a lot of sense to me. I want to get this show from 10,000 viewers an episode to the million viewers an episode. A person like some of these shows talking about NFL spoofs, there's all these podcasts out there talking about things that, they're great, whatever. I'm actually here trying to heal the planet. I'm here trying to, do as much, get this as far and wide as possible. Guys, that takes money. It takes a lot of money. My aim to build the Positive Head app. Do you know how much it costs to develop software? Let's say hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. Ultimately, it's so expensive. Ongoing, it's to create something that has stalled because of money. So you guys have heard me talk about it in the past. Optimistic, the TV, the docuseries that I'm looking at doing. Guess what? Takes a lot of money to produce that sort of thing. So, I do have the aim to only bring in things that I believe in and that are helping people, right? And, I don't think, one person had posted in that thread also that it's kind of icky, irresponsible, and self-serving to convince people who want to be whole and holistic to eat nothing but powder because, the Purium stuff, one of the things that you take is a powder each day of dehydrated plants, right? I don't personally, that makes no sense to me. Promoting superfoods tested at the molecular level as a supplement, not saying just to eat that. Yeah, there's a 10-day transformation piece that people are doing, but that's for 10 days. Fasting is one of the healthiest things you can do. So we're not even, I can imagine what someone would think about that, right? This person would think about fasting. In this case, it's like, hey, for 10 days, eat mainly these powders and some flex foods, broccoli, you can eat, there's like a list of 20 things that you can eat. So there's never have I tried to convince anyone to fast, although I think it's a great idea. That's not even a part of it. So yeah, I'm trying to just make sure I cover all the things. Guys, my intention, my aim is to spread this show as far and wide as possible. This one other person, or the same person who said it was icky, to promote, these supplements, also said, they don't want there to be ads in the show. That's why they use YouTube Red. So basically what she's suggesting is that I go to a subscription model. That'd be a really quick way to lose listeners. So I think having ads, I think ultimately what makes sense is I'm going to segregate ads. So I'm going to tell you guys, hey, here's the things that are helping to sponsor and promote what we want to do here on the show and to grow, to expand, to help pay for all the things that it takes to really grow this show to be what it's meant to be in its highest expression to the world. And I'll probably just say, hey, the next 2.5 minutes, we're going to talk about our sponsors. And if you want to skip ahead, then you can skip ahead. And I think that's probably the best way to deal with it. So, but to get to the main, and to just kind of wrap this up with the main topic, guys, being abundant is your birthright. We have experienced lack of funds. We have experienced lack of abundance. We've experienced lack of love. We've experienced a lack of a lot of things. There is by resisting the system, that is not the path to transforming it. It's the same way by resisting your demons is not the way to transform them. It's by loving them, by embracing them. How do I work with what is? How do I become like water and work with what's happening? That's the path. I've made my intentions clear on how and why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. And, you have the same ability to call in as much abundance or as little abundance as you want, right? It is your birthright, though. You are eternally abundant, and we can play, the game of not having enough, and that serves us up to a point. But there comes a point where it's, I believe we're all being called, everyone listening, you're being called to step into your next greatest and grandest version of yourself, the highest expression of yourself, the one that is infinitely abundant, the one that uses resources to, that's a big part of the problem, I think, is, you have the people who are greedy and, want to just hoard and stack money in a bank account. That's something that's blown my mind, is how many people who have a lot of it, they just hoard it and are not doing anything with it. Although there are more people who are coming out as philanthropists and trying to help the world, but there's been a lot of that. I've known a lot of people who just do, I have an uncle who's one of the richest people in North Carolina, different uncle, great uncle. And he has tons of money, and he's done nothing to help anyone with it that I can tell. Certainly not in our family, much less outside of his family. And now he's got dementia and he's on his way out, and, his money will get left to whoever. And so, for me, I want to, become a billionaire, disperse it to help disrupt the monetary system. And for my last meal, someone has to provide it to me because I have no money left. I've dispersed it all or gotten rid of it and helped get rid of it entirely on the planet. And so someone buy me a cheeseburger. Oh, no. Someone buy me a Purium shake. Yeah. Because I have no money left. I've used it to do good in the world. And that's the intention. And that's what's going on here. And Chad, I hope you tune into this. You can be an entrepreneur, and you can be a good guy, and you can have plenty of abundance, and then you can do wonderful things with this. Let's rewrite this story with money. All of you listening, you are so powerful. You are one with the source, right? Get that through your head. Like, do you think God is poor? It's the source of all abundance. It is life. It is all the matter. It's like, and all the non-matter, the non-physical. It is, and you are it. So, yes, the system is wonky. Yes, it's needs to be fixed. This is the best way that I see to fix it, by wrapping my arms around that demon, loving it up, and, then transforming it from within. And with that being said, I have 2 songs I want to leave you guys with today, because both of them are so relevant to today's conversation. And I actually saw this lovely Earth Angel Divine Channel Fia this weekend, and such musical medicine. Wow. And so I'm actually going to play two Fia songs. One is called Shedding Skins. The other one is called Receive. They both seem appropriate for today's topic. I hope this helps to clear up this question, this concern for any of you guys. My intention is to do what I can to bring things to your attention that I believe in my heart will help you and are good for you to consider and look at, and to help to monetize the show more so that it can actually become the expression in the world that it's meant to become, because we live in a system that requires that. And I think that's beautiful and okay. And, it's, if I'm going to go from 10,000 listeners a show to 1 million, like all the big ones that have big money behind them, it's going to take that. And I hope you all are feeling so much more abundant after this and are tapping into your abundance, because you deserve all the best that life has to offer. This is Shedding Skins and Receive by Fia. Till next time, journey well. Love you all so much. Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
I am open, I am free, and my life is breathing me as I surrender to the will of the divine. No more stories of the past, I am shedding skins at last, and I realize I'm already in heaven. The moment I stop running from the demons in my head, and instead I choose to love them. When saying yes to life, both shadow and light, my suffering is done and I come alive. I am born and I will die, by each breath a final sigh. It doesn't matter where I go, I cannot hide. But when I find my sense of peace, I can walk through hell with ease. I might fall 1,000 times, but I shall rise. And the moment I stop running from the demons in my head, and instead I choose to love them. When saying yes to life, both shadow and light, my suffering is done and I come alive. I want to feel it all. I wear my heart on my sleeve, saying, here I am, can you see me? Oh, I am beautiful and fucked up in the most glorious way. When standing in my truth, who cares what people say? 'Cause the moment we stop running from the demons in our heads, and instead we choose to love them. When saying yes to life, both shadow and light, oh, our suffering is done and we come alive. Oh, the moment we stop running from the demons in our heads, and instead we choose to love them. When saying yes to life, both shadow and light, oh, our suffering is done and we come alive. Oh, the moment we stop running from the demons in our heads, and instead we choose to love them. Oh, and suffering is done, and we come alive. I can hear it, I can taste it, I can feel it, but not yet see it. I know that it's coming, it's already here. My work is to tune myself crystal clear and receive all that is lined up for me. I receive. I know that the universe loves me, and that there is nothing I need to prove. It's safe to be me. It's my birthright to feel this, happy and free. I am choosing my vibration. I am a master creator, and I know that it's coming, it's already here. My work is to tune myself crystal clear and receive all that is lined up for me. I receive. I know that the universe loves me, and that there is nothing I need to prove. It's safe to be me. It's my birthright to feel this, happy and free. 'Cause what I feel I create, I am choosing wisely where my point of attraction is. Launching rockets of desire, I'm calling it in. My dreams are manifesting, and I receive all that is lined up for me. I receive, and I know that the universe loves me, and that there's nothing I need